Hello friends, I'm Tim Wildsmith, and the goal of my channel is to help you find a Bible that's right for you and apply it to your life. And if you are looking for a Bible, there are some key things that you need to think about before you make that purchase. So in this video, I want to tell you the 3 most important things that you need to consider before buying a Bible. Are you ready? Let's dive in. The first thing I want you to think about when you're buying a new Bible is what type of Bible you're looking for. So there's study Bibles, reading Bibles, Bibles you can write in, devotional Bibles, personal-sized Bibles, giant print Bibles. What are the types of things you are looking for in a Bible for this purchase? I think everyone should have a great study Bible, and that's going to be a Bible that has the text of Scripture, but also a lot of notes that are going to explain the historical and literary and theological context of what you're reading. So if you don't have a great study Bible, that might be a good place to start. But if you do have a study Bible and your goal with this new Bible you're buying is just to immerse yourself in the Word, then there are different Bibles that are designed more specifically to help you do that. I really like a single column Bible when I just want to read the Bible for long stretches of time. I actually made a video about this earlier on my year about the 4 different types of Bibles that I think everyone should own. And I talked about a few of my favorites in each one of those categories. But let's face it, there are a lot of Bibles out there. And when it's time to narrow it down and make a purchase, deciding what type of Bible you want to go with will really help you narrow things down and focus in on what's out there in that specific category, that specific type of Bible that you're looking for. So the first thing is to decide what type of Bible you want to buy. The second important thing that you need to consider when buying a Bible is which translation you want to go with. We have a lot of great Bible translations in English, but there are some key differences between many of them. Now, I did write a book called Bible Translations for Everyone that explains all of the similarities and differences between our major translations of the Bible. So if you haven't read my book, if you haven't heard of it, this might be a great place to start when it comes to deciding which translation is right for you. It might not just be one translation that's right for you. I actually talk in the book about creating a team of translations that will complement one another, but this is a really great resource to do that. And I've also created a series of videos on my channel about Bible translations where I talk about, okay, what's the best Bible translation for deep study, right? There are certain facets, certain attributes of a translation, like the NASB is going to use small capital letters in the New Testament whenever the text is quoting or referring to the Old Testament. That's something pretty unique to the NASB. And so if you want something like that when you're studying the Bible, you need to know that about the NASB. Whereas the New Living Translation, the NLT, doesn't have features like that, but it is incredibly readable for us in modern day English. So if you are new to the Bible or you're trying to get into the Bible, get back into the Bible after a long time, the NLT could be a translation that's really easy and accessible for you to read. And those are just 2 examples of things that I go into in the book and videos on my channel where I talk about the differences between all of these translations. So if in step 1, you kind of narrow it down and say, this is what type of Bible I'm looking for, then you go, okay, there's a bunch of different translations that have Bibles in this type. Now I'm going to think about the translation and which one is right for me with the goals that I have for this Bible that I'm buying, and that will help you narrow it down even further. So step 2 is to choose which translation you want to buy. The third important thing that you need to think about when buying a Bible is the price. Now, I don't talk about price a lot on my channel because it's kind of relative. Depending on what your financial situation is, you might think that $100 is really expensive for a Bible, or you might think that $15 or $20 is expensive for a Bible. And oftentimes the Bibles that I review, they might be one price on Amazon, a different price on christianbook.com or evangelicalbible.com. But I think it's good for you to consider, once you've narrowed down the type of Bible you want, the translation you want, you're going to have some options out there. What are you willing to spend? Do you want a really nice, high-quality, premium Bible, something from Schuyler or Allen or Cambridge or Humble Lamb? These are very nice Bibles. They're going to cost you probably $150 to $250, and I believe that they're worth it. I did a video on my channel about cheap versus expensive Bibles and why they're more expensive, and I do think that they're worth it, but obviously not everybody can afford to spend that much on a Bible. So you need to think about what you're willing to spend. And then you need to look at, based on where your price range is, what makes the most sense for that type of Bible in that translation of Bible. Many major publishers have a really great synthetic leather product that it's not real genuine leather. It's a synthetic material, but it feels and looks a lot like leather. It's very soft. It's very nice. And honestly, those Bibles are often much less expensive than some of the genuine leather or the goatskin premium leather Bibles. So you can get something really nice for a lower price. If you need something to be even less expensive than that, you can look for a hardcover Bible or a paperback Bible. There is a wide range of price options in the world of Bibles. And I will say in general, if you can afford to go with something a little bit more expensive, I think you're going to be happy with that. More expensive Bibles, in the world of Bibles, they're not going to be more expensive unless they are higher quality. Now, there's a handful of cases where that's not true. But for the most part, more expensive Bibles are going to have nicer paper, nicer covers, just overall nicer features. And I have found that when I have a really great, nice Bible, it makes me want to spend more time with it. With the fact that I've invested a little bit more in it, makes me value picking it up, holding it, reading. But again, you can find great Bibles out there that are less expensive. And sometimes you can find a premium Bible that's also available in a non-premium option. One of my favorites is the ESV Heritage. That's one of my all-time favorite Bibles. There's a great premium option from Crossway, but they also make it in one of those synthetic leather options. Crossway calls it True Tone. It's a really, really great Bible that you can get for about $30, whereas the premium one is going to be closer to $200. So you can do a little bit of searching based on what your price is. So I always tell people, figure out the translation, figure out the type of Bible, and then go and search and see what different price points are out there, and that will help you narrow it down some more. So there you have it, the 3 most important things to think about when buying a Bible: the type of Bible, the translation, and the price. If you consider those 3 things, I think it will help you narrow down your selections out there so you can find a Bible that's right for you. Now, obviously, I have reviewed hundreds of Bibles right here on my channel, so as you start to narrow it down, also search around on my channel. You can search by translation, you can search by type of Bible, and maybe I'll point you in the right direction with one of my previous videos. And anything that kind of is involved in this world of choosing a Bible, some of the things that I've talked about in this video, I'll go ahead and put some links to other videos and other things that you should check out in the video description. So scroll down there, see some other ideas that I have. That video that I mentioned about the 4 types of Bibles, or expensive versus cheap Bibles, the links to all of that can be found in the video description. If you enjoyed this video, click that like button for me, and definitely consider subscribing to my channel. I review Bibles, I unbox them, I talk about Bible related issues, and again, the goal is to help you find a Bible that's right for you and apply it to your life, and I have a lot of fun doing that. So hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications bell so that YouTube will let you know the next time I have a new video coming out. And of course, if you have any thoughts or questions, please drop those in the comments, and I'll get back to you with a response. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time.